YouTube, welcome back to Cassandra's Kitchen, where I eat to live and I live to eat. Today I'm going to be making up some vegan chocolate chip cookies. Yes, and they are delicious as well. So if you're interested in learning my vegan recipe, stay tuned and I'll show you. Alright guys, so the things that you would need to make this recipe, we're going to need butter, and for me I am using the plant-based butter. You can use any butter, they have several different ones, but I'm using the plant-based by Country Crock. And this, you're going to need, of course, your chocolate chips, and I have these non-GMO, these are vegan semi-chocolate chips. I got these from Kroger. It's the Enjoy Life brand. You're going to need some pure vanilla extract. It calls for brown sugar, but for my brown sugar, I'm using the golden coconut sugar. And it calls for white sugar, and I'm using monk sugar instead of the white processed sugar. And it looks the same, it tastes the same, but I'm using the monk sugar, and I'll explain that as I go through. You're going to need salt, baking soda. Of course, you're going to need flour. I am using Spelt flour. You're going to need some walnuts because we want our chocolate chip cookies to have walnuts. And for the egg, we're going to use ground flax seeds, and I'll show you how to make eggs using the ground flax seeds. So that's what we're going to need for this recipe. So we'll go ahead and get started here. So what we want to do is combine our butter, and this is for two sticks of butter for 1 cup. So we want 2 sticks of butter. We're going to mix our butter and our sugar together, and then we'll get everything else mixed in. So, and here I go again, not having everything I need at hand, but so it calls for 1 cup of white sugar and 1 cup of brown sugar. Now, those who are vegan know this, those who aren't may not know. So all white sugars are not vegan. You're like, why? Well, because sugar in and of itself, when it's made, is not white. So in order for them to get the color to become white, they use a bone char. And that's taking the bone from usually a cow, and they use the char of that to turn the sugar white. So that's why whenever if you're vegan and you're trying to avoid any type of animal product, you really want to look at your sugars, because not all sugar is considered vegan. So yeah, I didn't know that starting off at first, but you know, as you take this journey a little bit further, you learn things along the way from other vegans. So this is coconut sugar, and we're using this in place of our brown sugar. That wasn't quite a cup. Okay, and for your monk sugar, it comes directly from the monk fruit. It's good for you. It doesn't have all the bad stuff as regular sugar. And just to give you a little bit of information on the monk sugar, because a lot of people are like, what's monk sugar? So monk sugar, some of the benefits of this, is good for diabetics. It's actually safe for diabetics. It doesn't raise the blood sugars. It promotes in weight loss. Why? Because there's no calories, no carbs, no fats. So it's a great option if you're trying to lose weight. That's why I like to use it, because it doesn't cause me, I don't feel guilty when I'm using the monk sugar. And the monk sugar comes in different forms. So you can get it in the powdered form. So if you're making like buttercream, icing, or you can get it in the brown as well. I didn't have the brown, I had the coconut, but I would prefer it all in the monk because of the benefits of the monk sugar. And it has an anti-inflammatory property. So we all know that white processed sugar causes inflammation. It feeds cancers and things like that, but your monk sugar does not. So that's another benefit. So it's a little more expensive than your white sugars, but overall it's better for your health. So I keep this in my pantry. Those are some of the things that it's good for. So you can check it out. So you mix your sugars and your butter together. We want to get this all mixed together really good. But yeah, the taste as far as the monk sugar, you will not tell the difference. It is a little sweeter, but it doesn't have that aftertaste like your Splendas and all that. And it's crystallizes just like sugar. I mean, it looks identical to just regular white sugar. Okay, so what we want to do, we want to get our butter and our sugars mixed together really well here. And then we'll start mixing in our other ingredients. So I don't know if you can see that, but it is just mixed down really well. Okay. Next, what we want to do, we are going to add 2 teaspoons of your vanilla extract. And my teaspoon here. And I like using pure vanilla. I don't like using imitation. But any of these things that I'm using, you can definitely use the regular sugar. You can definitely use the regular brown sugars. Even your brown sugar is made with the brown, because all sugars are started from regular white processed sugars. So if you get a brown sugar, yes, it's still made with the bone char if it doesn't indicate that it's not. So just FYI. And your powdered sugar. So we want to get, so we got 2 teaspoons of that. We want a half teaspoon of your salt. And I use the pink Himalayan salt. It's better than the white processed table salt also. And it's got a ton of minerals in here. So this is my go-to salt. Okay. And we're going to use a teaspoon of baking soda. Now, a trick with the baking soda, what I like to do is take your baking soda. That's a half teaspoon. Take your baking soda and mix some hot water in it. Just a little bit. To get it to dissolve good. Just enough to get it to dissolve. And then we'll go ahead and get that down in our mixture as well. So you're getting it all mixed in there good. Okay? We're going to stir these things in. Paper towel here. We all know right now paper towels and everything are very scary, so we want to use them wisely. Okay. So we got that mixed in. So next thing we're going to do is mix in our eggs. So as I mentioned, we're using flax eggs. So what you do is get the ground flaxseed. You can make egg with this. This is a great egg replacement. I love it. You take 1 tablespoon of your flax egg or flax meal to 3 tablespoons of water. So you mix it up and you let it sit for 15 minutes in the refrigerator or longer till it gets that little slimy eggy look. So this recipe calls for 2 eggs. So if you use eggs, that's fine. Use your eggs, but I'm making these strictly vegan. So again, if you're using my recipe, you're gonna take 2 tablespoons of the flaxseed or flax meal, flaxseed, ground flax meal, they call it both. And then you're gonna add 6 tablespoons of water. So I have mine in the refrigerator. I've already mixed it together. So I had mine sitting for 15 minutes, and if you can see, it gets that kind of eggy approach. So that's what we're gonna use. And you can use this for cornbread, anything that calls for egg. So I already had mine mixed. I'm gonna get this in here. And stir that in. And this is our egg replacement. And then next thing we're going to do is add in our flour. So this recipe calls for 3 cups of flour. And again, I'm using Spelt. You can use regular flour if you like. I try to avoid all the processed flours and sugars. It's healthier for you. So there's 1 cup. Spelt flour is a little bit more on the expensive side, but I don't use it that often, so it's worth it to me. 2. And this makes a lot of cookies, so if you're making this recipe, I'll show you, because what I usually do, I go ahead and get them squared off or rounded up, and I freeze them with some parchment paper, so that way they don't just sit in the refrigerator and I don't waste them. So I have them just like you go to the store and you buy cookie dough and you keep it in your freezer. You can just pop them out when you want a couple of cookies here and there. You already have them prepared. Okay, so we just want to make sure that this is mixed in really good. And I like to get my flour pretty much mixed in real good before I start putting in my chocolate chips, because I don't like to beat up the chocolate chips too much, and so we'll get those in last. Oh yeah, so I don't know if you can see that in here, but it should be kind of thick. It should smell really good, of course. Okay, just gonna smooth this around to get all that extra flour off my bowl. Okay, so this is what it's looking like, y'all. A big clunk of dough. We'll still continue to mix more. It tastes so good already. Okay, so what we're gonna do next, we're gonna go ahead and get our walnuts. So this recipe calls for a cup of walnuts, and I've already chopped these up in the bag. I kind of, because these are whole walnuts, and it calls for a cup. So we'll get that in there. So I'm getting that mixed in good. All right, so next thing we did, we just put in our chocolate chips. That's the last ingredient. And so we just want to get this mixed in really good. And this is going to be kind of tough to stir now because of all the flour and everything's in here. It's a dough. So if you have some kitchen gloves, you can mix it with your hands to get it all mixed in here really well. Or you can use your hands. It's your kitchen. You can use your hands if you want to. But we're just getting all that mixed in here. And as you can see, what it looks like now, getting our chocolate chips kind of stirred up in here. Just want to make sure they're mixed in really good in the dough. Which these are in here. And then, once we get this mixed in, we're going to put this in the oven. Like I said, on a 350 oven. For 10 minutes, 10 to 12 minutes, you know, just keep an eye out on it. And so this is a lot of dough. So you might not be wanting to make this many cookies at one time. So this is what I do. All right, so guys, yeah, this is how I store mine. When I have extra dough that I know I'm not going to make all this. I use a container and parchment paper. And all I do is just scoop them out in dough size shapes, and I freeze them, and they last, and I keep them in a container with a Ziploc bag. So that's what we're gonna do with most of this dough today, but I am gonna put a few on the cookie sheet so that way I can show you how they turn out. So all I do, like I said, I just take a nice scoop, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but a nice scoop here. These don't make large cookies, so if you want a bigger cookie, you may want to just make a larger spoonful. But I'm just going to drop these on my cookie sheet. And of course, with making cookies, you want to make sure they're spaced apart so they don't stick together. And this is all you do. And these are going to turn out really nice. And then we're just going to pop them in the oven for about 10 minutes, 10 to 12 minutes, depending on your oven and how you like your cookies to be. Some people like them really chewy. Some people like a little crisp on the ends. So to your likings, just know your oven and how you like your cookie. But I would say your base time is, your base start time will be 10 minutes on 350. All right, guys, cookies are done. So I actually cooked mine for 13 minutes this time in the oven. And again, I let them cool. So they've been cooling for about 10 minutes. And here we have it. Nice chocolate chip cookies. They're still warm. So, but we have to see what they look like and taste like. So, Mr. Coleman.
Yes.
Can I have your attention, please?
You sure can. My favorite time, once again.
Okay.
Okay.
So these are our chocolate chip walnut cookies.
Okay.
And so they're still warm.
Good.
I wanted
like
them to see
warm.
how they break open. And you see that egg, that flax egg works really well. And so here's a piece for you. I did use the tablespoon scoop. I kind of rounded it, overfilled the tablespoon scoop, flattened them a little bit, and these are what the cookies came out looking like.
They really are good. The walnuts, the chips, it's really good.
So
all the ingredients in here are great. It tastes like chocolate chip cookies. It's really great. It's amazing. But what's so really good about it is it's got healthy stuff in it. It's not a whole bunch of high fructose and all those other chemicals in this. It's the real deal.
Yeah, so you can eat them guilt-free because you have the monk sugar in there. These are really good. I don't know why I think these taste just as good as the other batch, but
just the same.
They're good. It's early. But y'all, these are the chocolate chip cookies. Try them. And I'm sure you will enjoy them. You won't even know. You can take these out. No one will know these are vegan. No one will know these are healthy chocolate chip cookies. And if someone tells you that they do, you let me know. Because I can't tell the difference. So
they're really good.
They are.
Really good, really rich. And it's good. They're really good.
Got that little cakey taste.
No, I
but
really
the
need
cookie
that,
taste.
some ice cream or some milk or something, you know.
Some good old milk, almond milk. Yeah, so guys, here you have it. Vegan chocolate chip cookies.
Yes.
If you try it and you like it, you know what to do. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. And share this video.
Yes,
share it with your friends and family. Everyone's home right now.
Yes.
We're all spending family time together.
Yes.
So this is a great, easy recipe that you can get into the kitchen and do with your children. So share the video. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting on? Subscribe. So, and again, we just want everyone to be safe out there. We know with the whole coronavirus that's going around, we just pray for every family. We pray for the world as a whole.
Yes.
That everyone will be safe. Take the necessary precautions to keep you and your family safe.
Yes.
But as again, from Cassandra's kitchen to yours, be blessed and we love you. Bye-bye for now.
Bye, y'all.